Plaintiff Helen Gritt thinks the defendant, her granddaughter, needs some help because she claims she's abusing alcohol, weed, and Xanax. Helen's suing her for the balance due on a car and car repairs. Defendant Alexis Alderman admits that she got caught smoking pot one time in Helen's house, but insists she never did it again. Alexis is countersuing because she claims Helen is withholding her property.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, I brought Alexis, my granddaughter, here because I feel she needs some help. I'd like to see her get some help. She ended up living with her other grandparents, and then she disrespected them, and they kicked her out, and she moved in with her dad. And then from there, she didn't follow his rules, and he kicked her out. So I took her in, thought I could help her, and she knew my rules, and she disrespected them. I was sitting in the living room one day, and all I could smell was weed coming up from the basement. So she was smoking weed down there with her boyfriend. So they were down smoking weed, and I told her she had to get out. So she moved in with her mom. Now she's been abusing weed, alcohol, Xanax.
Now you're talking about something. Xanax, I don't think that's healthy at all unless prescribed by a doctor.
Then after that, she come over. We had a birthday party for her 3-year-old nephew. And her and her boyfriend, Polly, come over, and they were higher than a kite and buzzed out on Xanax. She didn't know where she was. She didn't know her name.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know if it was a month or two later, they both were out and partying, drinking, smoking weed, and did the Xanax, driving a car, and he passed out behind the wheel and wrecked into another vehicle.
Let me hear from you, young lady.
So me and my grandma, we haven't had a really good relationship. So she let me move in with her, and I was very appreciative. And then that following summer, she decided to kick me out. Like, I did get caught smoking weed in her house, but she still let me live there. And I told her I wasn't gonna do it again, and she said that's fine. And then a couple months after that, I didn't keep up with her on social media, and she said that I needed to get out of her house. She was very mad at me.
About what?
About not keeping up with her on social media, not responding to her, sending me pictures and doing that. So she was really angry about that. And then while I was living with her, like when I was still living with her, she went to like the zoo and she went to festivals, and she would never tell me about any of these things, but she always invited my sister. And I felt really unwanted by her and that I didn't belong in her house.
Defendant Alexis Alderman is being sued by her grandmother, who claims Alexis is abusing alcohol, weed, and Xanax.
How about the Xanax? You haven't said anything about that. You admitted to the weed, but the bigger problem, Xanax. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I have really bad anxiety issues that I struggle with like daily, so I thought that it would help.
Did you tell her it was prescribed to you?
It wasn't.
Ma'am,
It's not prescribed.
No, it wasn't prescribed, but
so you're taking them illegally?
yeah,
If you got anxiety, why don't you just go to the doctor?
I don't have money for the doctor, so
No, you're Medicaid to take care of it.
I don't have Medicaid.
Why?
I don't know how to like do it. Like,
Okay,
I've looked in-
we're gonna give you the number.
Yeah, so she.
You still on them?
No.
When did you stop?
I stopped like 2 months ago
Why?
because I didn't like them at all.
How long were you on them?
Not very long. Like
How long is that?
Like I did them maybe for like a week in the summer, and then I stopped for 5 months, and then I tried them again to see if they would help. And
How long then?
A day, 2 days. I was getting really depressed.
How many did you do?
I did quite a bit. I did like 3 the second time.
At a time?
At a time.
What are you suing it for, ma'am?
I bought my granddaughter Alexis, again, trying to help her out. I bought her a car because she was walking back and forth to work in wee hours in the morning and late at night, and I was afraid for her life. So I bought her a car for $2,900, and she agreed to make payments to me. She put $500 down, and then a week later, she gave me $120. Well, then the car started acting up, but anyways, she told me to take the payments and shove it, that she wasn't paying me no more.
Because of the car broke down?
Well, no, I took and bought a battery and an alternator, and I got it fixed because I was trying to help her out, make it easier on her, and because she couldn't afford to go to a car lot. And she said, Grandma, because I put it in her name. I had the title put in her name because we couldn't afford her insurance. So a couple weeks later, she called, and I don't understand, Your Honor. It came on, my daughter says, Mom, did you read what Alexis just put on Facebook? And she was bad-mouthing me on Facebook when I just helped her.
You have it?
No, I don't have that. She deleted it. But I got a response on here where she knows that she owes me the money.
Okay. Ma'am, what do you say to this?
I say, I never told her I wasn't gonna pay her for the car until she told me I can't get any of my property out of her house. So, and the—
so you were paying.
I was paying. The post that I made on Facebook that she had just talked about, she got very mad. And so I went to go get it that day, and she said—
Your things?
Yeah, and she said, you can't get any
What
of it.
property was it?
I have a list right here of all the property.
And that was when?
Sometime in March.
She called the police, the sheriff, and the sheriff came up.
Why did you keep her from coming in and getting her things?
They were already angry. She had done called me a couple times, yelling at me.
About what?
Foul language. About, I don't know what she was mad about, Your Honor. I don't understand.
Okay.
I don't understand where
Well, she was taking Xanax and getting high and all that together. Yeah.
I have on here,
That
and
is-
I
you
asked
would
her.
act on,
I asked her.
You want him to speak?
Yeah.
He's throwing his hand up. Stand up. You state your name.
Apolinar.
Are you the one that wrecked the car?
Yeah, I am.
High off Xanax?
Yeah.
So what do you have to say exactly?
When we called her and said that she said that we called her and said a whole bunch of stuff to her that didn't happen. A lot of stuff that she said did not happen.
Okay, thank you very much.
I was on Xanax. I'm not gonna lie about that. But I've been clean since February, March. Around that time, I've been clean since then. And she's not in our lives.
Did you clean up the damage you caused to people?
I didn't injure anybody. I crashed into a car that was illegally parked somewhere.
Oh, that's all right. It's all right to be high on Xanax and crash into a car. Got it. Have a seat, sir.
Defendant Alexis Alderman is being sued by her grandmother, who claims Alexis is abusing alcohol, weed, and Xanax.
Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, I got proof where she kept calling me, and
But I want to know why you kept her things, though.
well, because of all this nasty stuff she said, and then she brought the sheriff to the house
About you
And-
keeping her things.
to get her stuff. So the sheriff told me, he says, ma'am, he says, you do not have to let her in your house to get her property. And I said, okay, I don't want her in my house. So the sheriff says, if you don't want him on your property, I'll escort him off. I said, escort him off. And when she pays me for the car, then she can get her property.
How much you owe for the car, ma'am? You owe $25, $30?
No, she's added on the repairs, but I told her when the car needed them that I can cover it, and she told me, don't worry about it. I got it covered.
No, I
tell her
did
that?
not. No, sir, I did not.
All right, she denies it, but yet you said you would cover it. So
Yeah.
we're going to keep you covering it since you were going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so your counterclaim of $1,062 is for the property?
Yes.
You want your property or you want the money?
I want the property.
Ma'am, I'm going to grant her judgment and keep it at bay until you return her property. If she's unable to get her property in 30 days, then she gets the money. With regard to your claim, I'm going to grant your judgment. She admits that she owes. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff and for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've helped you out over and over and over. And what do you mean? We've never had a good
and
relationship.
you leave me out of
Really?
everything. Yes,
You always
asked
work.
her.
You were
I've
always
taken you
working
to the
more
beach.
days
I've
off.
taken you
Oh
out
my
to
God.
eat.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Okay,
really?
shut up.
Really?
Yes,
And this is the
shut
way you want
up.
to treat your grandmother that's
Because
done
you
everything
treat me
for you?
worse. You are so
I'm
fake.
just so
Just
done
shut
with
up.
you.